In this video, I will show you, well, I could show you, but you can go and look at it yourself. Box Rec. If you know boxing, you know how to track a fighter. You know how to look at a fighter fighting history, who he fought and who his opponent has fought. The one source you go to is Box Rec. Manny Pacquiao, after his win over Keith Thurman, many are saying Manny Pacquiao is the greatest of all time. Do I agree with that statement? Absolutely not. Because the greatest of all time does not pull the tactics that Manny Pacquiao has pulled over and over, years and years. I mean, it's the same pattern over and over. Only blind boxing fans would turn their eye to it. Only blind boxing fans will turn an eye to it, a blind eye to it. And we can go ahead and expose Manny Pacquiao's resume. As of right now, we're going to look at Manny Pacquiao's recent fights. Keith Thurman. Why did Manny Pacquiao fight Keith Thurman, guys? He fought Keith Thurman because Keith Thurman was coming off a shoulder injury. And he looked bad in his last performance. Adrian Broner. Why did Manny Pacquiao fight Adrian Broner? Manny Pacquiao fought Adrian Broner because Adrian Broner looked vulnerable, just like Keith Thurman looked vulnerable. He fought Adrian Broner because Adrian Broner was coming off a loss to Mikey Garcia and a draw to Jesse Vargas. Why are you fighting these guys that are coming off their worst performances? Why? Do you guys see Lucas Matiste? Why did Manny Pacquiao fight Lucas Matiste? Manny Pacquiao fought Lucas Matiste because Lucas Matiste looked horrible against Tewa Kiram until he caught him. And he didn't catch him with a clean shot. He hit him with a shot that never landed. It looked like the guy threw the fight. If you're a boxing fan and you actually watched that fight, you could tell that guy took a dive. Jeff Horn. Why did Manny Pacquiao fight Jeff Horn? Manny Pacquiao had an opportunity to fight Terrence Crawford. Manny Pacquiao chose to go the easier route and fight Jeff Horn. Manny Pacquiao got his ass beat by Jeff Horn, a guy with only 16 fights. How can you be the greatest of all time losing to a guy with 16 fights? Do you think Floyd Mayweather would have lost to a guy like Jeff Horn with 16 fights? 16 fights, guys. Just listen to that. 16 fights. How is Manny Pacquiao, the greatest of all time, losing to a guy with 16 fights? Ridiculous. Freaking ridiculous. And right after that, what do true champions do? Manny Pacquiao is notorious for rematches. What do true champions do? They rematch a guy who majority of people thought it was a robbery when Jeff Horn clearly won 7 or 8 rounds straight. Manny Pacquiao completely ducks the Jeff Horn rematch. Wow. So there you have it. Manny Pacquiao, the fights he's supposed to win, or the people that he fights, is for a reason. He fights guys at their lowest and vulnerable point. And he loses the fight he's supposed to win. And he loses the biggest fights of his career. This fight, Jesse Vargas versus Manny Pacquiao, I could give Manny Pacquiao some credit for this Jesse Vargas fight. Out of all of his recent fights, I could give him credit for the Jesse Vargas fight, because Jesse Vargas was coming off a knockout win against Saddam Ali, which was an impressive win. But he had previously lost to a guy, Manny Pacquiao beat Timothy Bradley. he didn't just lose to Timothy Bradley. He lost almost every single round to Timothy Bradley. You know, Timothy Bradley is a guy who Manny Pacquiao had just beat in a unanimous decision. And why would Manny Pacquiao fight somebody Timothy Bradley beat? If you beat Timothy Bradley, why are you going backwards and fighting a guy Timothy Bradley beat? Do you see the cherry picking in that? Manny Pacquiao fought Timothy Bradley. He lost the first fight. He won the second fight. And he won the third. I gotta give him credit for the third fight, because Bradley looked good against Brandon Rios and Jesse Vargas. So out of all these opponents I've been naming, the only two opponents so far I can give Manny Pacquiao serious credit on is Timothy Bradley and Jesse Vargas. Timothy Bradley and Jesse Vargas. And the crazy thing about that is Bradley beat Jesse Vargas. So, should I give Manny Pacquiao credit for beating a Jesse Vargas who lost to Timothy Bradley? And then the most important fight, the fight of the decade for the WBC, WBA, and WBO against Floyd Mayweather Jr. What did Manny Pacquiao do? Go in there and get his ass beat for 12 rounds and then lie and say he injured his shoulder. And then he also said Manny Pacquiao pulled an Adrian Broner against Floyd Mayweather. He said he thought he won the fight. He said, I thought I won the fight. Yeah, I thought I won the fight. Why? In front of thousands and millions of fans, Manny Pacquiao refused to give Floyd Mayweather credit. This is why we're not getting the Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao rematch. Manny Pacquiao proved he's a scumbag for that. A dirtball. The biggest fight of your career. The most lucrative fight in boxing history. The number one fight to put you at that GOAT status that you so badly wanted. You lose almost every single round and can't even give your opponent credit. Make up all the excuses in the world. And mind you, I'm not even a big Floyd Mayweather fan. So for me to give Floyd Mayweather praise, it takes a lot. But Manny Pacquiao embarrassed himself by saying he thought he won the fight and talked about his shoulder injury. It's disgusting for Manny Pacquiao. This is why Manny Pacquiao will never be the GOAT. Now, I'm just going to go through Manny Pacquiao's resume and prove to you why he's not the GOAT. If what I've said already isn't enough proof, I'll just go through it. In his 12th professional fight, he lost to a guy with an 11-4 record by a knockout. A guy from the Philippines. He lost to another guy from the Philippines. His 28th fight, he lost to another guy from the Philippines who was 18-0. Something about that 18-0. Who was 18-0, Manny Pacquiao lost by knockout. So he has 2 losses on his resume already. By his 28th fight, he lost 2 times by knockouts. You know? And we just keep going because he was in the smaller weight classes. Manny Pacquiao made a breakout performance against Ledwaba. He won that fight by a knockout. That was when Manny Pacquiao became known to the boxing world. After that, we keep going up. Manny Pacquiao lost a unanimous decision to Eric Morales. He then went on to fight guys like Marco Antonio Barrera, he won a unanimous decision. The Manuel Marquez fight, that was a very close fight. He won a split decision. A lot of people thought Marquez won the fight. He fought Oscar De La Hoya. When Oscar De La Hoya. Why would you fight Oscar De La Hoya, who's coming off low? Manny Pacquiao fought guys like Oscar De La Hoya after he lost to Floyd Mayweather. He didn't fight Oscar when Oscar was undefeated or when Oscar was hot. He fought Oscar when Oscar was on the down. You know, he's fighting Floyd Mayweather sloppies. Then he went on to fight Ricky Hatton, Miguel Cotto. These are guys Floyd Mayweather beat. Manny Pacquiao fought guys like Oscar De La Hoya after he lost to Floyd Mayweather. He didn't fight Oscar when Oscar was undefeated or when Oscar was hot. He fought Oscar when Oscar was on the down. You know, he's fighting Floyd Mayweather sloppies. Then he went on to fight Ricky Hatton, Miguel Cotto. These are guys Floyd Mayweather beat. He went on to fight guys like Shane Mosley, Floyd Mayweather had already beat. And he fought Juan Manuel Marquez again. And the fight that mattered the most, like I said, the fight that Manny Pacquiao is supposed to leave his mark on the boxing world, he loses. He lost to Marquez by a knockout. I can sit here and argue with you over and over, but the facts will still remain the same. Manny Pacquiao cannot be the GOAT. With all these KO losses and fighting guys that Floyd Mayweather had already beat. You cannot be better than somebody fighting people he's already beat. And then when you finally fight the fight of the century, the fight of the decade, you lose. And then you make up excuses. And then you go on to fight a guy in Jeff Horn with 16 fights and lose. Unbelievable. When we talk greatest fighters of all time and we look at resumes, not just accomplishments, not just winning titles, who they fought, who they lost to, you look at Manny Pacquiao resume, you question it. There's a lot of doubts. He lost the biggest fights. He fought guys at their most vulnerable. He fought guys after they lost to a guy he was competing with, Floyd Mayweather Jr. That's a bad look. So when we talk greatest of all time, Manny Pacquiao can't even be in top 10 greatest of all time. He can't even be in top 15 greatest of all time. With a resume like that and the amount of KO losses he has taken, he cannot even be in the top 15 greatest of all time. When you systematically look at Manny Pacquiao's resume, all you had to do is just look at the 16-0 Jeff Horn and you shake your head. I am not trying to knock Manny Pacquiao for his accomplishment. I am trying to knock Manny Pacquiao fans for not being able to face the facts. The guy is not the greatest of all time. He has lost the biggest fights of his career, especially the most biggest fight to Floyd Mayweather Jr.